I remember when I entered timeout, when I was in eighth grade, the elders at my church told me that women did not have the authority to preach the word of God. I was born to preach. I fought the patriarchy for 7 years and lost because on the seventh year, my father died of cancer. I had the power to heal. When I could not heal him, I lost my faith and I went into timeout for 26 years. The moment I couldn't do what I was born to do, I felt my soul hovering like a dove in the sky and then plummet down to earth, breaking both of her wings. It happens. Dreams get broken. You know what I did in timeout? I had a great time. I had this gorgeous body when I was younger, and I laid on the beach in a bikini. I studied all the religious traditions. I spent all my money on books. I lived in monasteries. I meditated in ashrams. At one point, I had 16,000 boyfriends. I mean, I was basically living the life, a fabulous life. It just wasn't my life. I was always a student of a spiritual teacher, the arm candy of a hot athlete, a caretaker for the sick. I was always supporting someone else's life. I was never supporting my own life. And that's what happens when you have a broken dream. It's time out. Focus on anything or anyone but yourself. Focus on making everyone else's dream come true so that I don't have to focus on my own broken dream. I love timeout. I still fantasize about it. I mean, who doesn't love a good timeout? Another word for timeout is me time. Me, me, me. And me is not the same as I. I is my connection to God, my soul. Me is my connection to me, my ego. When you can't get what you really want, do you know what you do? You replace it with five things that you don't really want. But you know what? It fills a void. I'm an emotional overeater. What I really crave is connection and intimacy. But when I can't get that, the pizza, potato chips, chocolate ice cream will do the trick. When my soul longed to fulfill her dream, you know what? 16,000 boyfriends, a blue bikini, a stint in a monastery, that'll do the trick. I spent years filling in the void of my broken dream. The ego is full of ideas. I love the ego. Such a positive thinker. It's like, don't worry, I have 10,000 things you can replace that with. You don't have to get what you really want. You can have all these other things instead. That's what I did in timeout. I replaced what I really want with 10,000 things that I didn't want, and it did the trick for 26 years. On the 27th year, I got an eviction notice. I got booted out from timeout. God tagged me and he said, time in. And I was like, oh, and God was like, isn't that your dream to do what you were born to do? I was like, hey, God, wow. Yeah. Hey, listen, yeah, I kind of like it here. I'm used to it. It kind of grew on me, like, why did I even like, and God was like, I know you forgot. I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. What did I forget? I mean, I forgot kind of, what did I forget? And God was like, you forgot the whole reason why you entered timeout in the first place. And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. What was I? Yeah. what? And God interrupted me and he said, Vikster, time in, tag, you're it. And I'm like, what am I? And God is like, you're a preacher. I'm like, when? And God's like, now. Now is always the perfect time to time in to who you really are. It's just kind of shocking when you've been in timeout for a while. When you're in timeout, like, duh, I'm taking time out from who I really am. That's the whole point of timeout. Like, that's what I tried to tell God. I said, I'm in timeout. And God said, you're in time. You're timing in to who you really are. Vic, you've lost your timing. You got to get back into the timing of who you really are. There is no time in the Garden of Eden. It's eternal. That's why you were there for 26 years. In the wilderness, time is a gift. Time is your gift, Vicky Lee. This time, right now, is your gift. Your time in the wilderness is a gift. I'm giving you the gift of time. Spend this time following your dream. This is your time. Your time in the Garden of Eden was someone else's time. Your time in the wilderness is your time. It's time just for you. I'm like, yeah, well, duh, I'm all alone out here in the wilderness. And God said, I isolated you on purpose so that you would focus on you. Because there's nothing else to focus on. Please write this in your journal. My time in the Garden of Eden was someone else's time. My time in the wilderness belongs solely to me. It's my time to focus on myself.